In this video, I'm going to talk about the importance of mono in the low end of your mix. This is actually one of the secrets to getting a really tight low end in your tracks. The low end is often the most difficult part to get right in a mix. It's the area with the highest amount of energy, so any mistake down there can quickly ruin your track, causing it to sound muddy or muffled. The low end is actually the foundation of your track. It's where the main energy of the track comes from. One of the mistakes I see a lot of people make is to let their low end remain in stereo. Some even use stereo enhancers in order to spread things out even further, and that's not a good idea when it comes to those really low frequencies. It can work well for your mid-basses and such, which sit somewhat higher up in the frequency band, but you really shouldn't spread out your super low-end elements such as your kick and your sub-bass. Those should always be in mono, and here's why. Because the low end is so powerful, any mistake down there will have a huge impact. If you put stereo effects on your kick, for example, it can become out of phase, especially if played in a club. Many PA systems sum low frequencies to mono, and if your low end has a right-left channel phase mismatch, then they will tend to cancel out, causing your low end to lose energy and become weak and inconsistent. Even when played on a stereo system, it's important that the low-end elements come out of both speakers exactly at the same time in order to deliver the highest amount of power. If you send your track to mastering, a seasoned mastering engineer will usually make sure the super low-end area of your mix is in mono. When I say super low-end, I mean the area below about 100 Hz. If you master your own tracks, you need to keep this in mind if you intend to put any stereo enhancers on it. If you are using a plugin such as Ozone, you can split the bands to make sure that the low-end area below 80 to 100 Hz or so is completely mono. This will give you a tighter low end, especially when played on large speakers. If you don't have Ozone, there are many free plugins available, such as the TP Bassline, which also works great. You can load this plugin on your master or use it on individual tracks to control the low end. Let me show you what I mean. Now, everything below 88 Hz will remain in mono. I can adjust the frequency here. This plugin is 100% free. I've added the download link in the description below, so you can go ahead and download it and give it a try if you want to. When it comes to your sub bass and kick though, I usually prefer to keep those 100% mono. If you want to know more about mixing and mastering, then you can check out my mixing tutorials. You can find the link in the description below. I'd like to thank our Patreons for their ongoing support, and as always, if there's any specific tutorial you'd like us to make, or if you have a question, just let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to check out the links below if you need feedback on your music, mixing, mastering, and so on. Thanks for watching.